Welcome in Karibuni to Aroma of Zanzibar. Today I'm going to share with you how I'm making my bechamel sauce, which is part of the mother sauces. The ingredients for this are very simple. I've got some butter, I've got some all-purpose flour. We're going to be using some milk, which is cold, and also whole milk. So in my pan over here on medium heat, I'm going to start melting the butter. Now the ratio for the butter and the flour for bechamel is equal, so I'm using 3 tablespoons of butter with 3 tablespoons of flour. All right, so once my butter is melted and bubbly like this, I'm going to add the flour, and now we are making a roux. Now you want to cook your roux on low medium for about 3 to 4 minutes or even up to 5 minutes, so long as your heat is not high and your roux does not change color, because once it starts changing the color, the flavor is also going to change. All right, so you can keep it white as much as you can, or maybe you can go a little bit tan, just like how I did mine. Like this. Now I'm ready to add the milk. I'm using only 1/3 part of my milk, and I'm using cold milk. The reason why we use cold milk is to avoid having lumps in the sauce. So you want to mix it well, like that. Stir it very well until it thickens. Once it thickens like this, then you're going to add the other part of the milk. Now you can use cream if you want, that's fine. Now I'm using 2.5 cups, that's about 550 ml of milk. You can use more, you can use less, it depends on the thickness that you're looking for in your sauce. All right, so once this is done, then I add my last part of the milk. Just going to mix it well to make sure that there are no lumps at all. And then at this point, I like to flavor mine with I've got an onion, bay leaf, and a clove. Sometimes I use garlic, sometimes I use cilantro. It depends what I'm using it for. All right, so then I just put my heat on low and let it simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes while you stir it occasionally. All right, so this is ready now. And if you want to make sure that your sauce is really ready, we're gonna dip in the spoon like that, and your sauce should be clean on the spoon like that without dripping on either side. All right, but it's not necessary, but if you want to do it, you can do it. All right, okay, so now my sauce is ready, and I'm gonna add some salt. I added a little bit of salt and some black pepper. Usually we use white pepper, but I don't like white pepper. Then we're gonna use a little bit of nutmeg to flavor this. Now you can use a bechamel for anything. This is why it's also called mother sauce, because out of the bechamel sauce you can make, there are a few other sauces that come out of it, and you can use it for anything, for your lasagna, for your I use it for my scallop potato. And at this point also, if you want to add some cheese, you can go ahead and add some cheese. All right, but I'm just going to keep mine simple. So I'm using my bechamel today with the penne, which I've cooked it with broccoli. And then I have used grilled chicken that I've diced it into small pieces like that. Just going to mix it well. I also sprinkled a little bit of paprika, which you can't see, and some onion powder, and also garlic powder. And I do have a video on how to make onion and garlic powder. I will put the link in the description box below if you're interested. And then I added some Parmesan cheese and some mozzarella cheese. Just give it a nice mix. And then I'm going to pour my bechamel sauce. Now for this recipe, I like my bechamel to be a little bit lighter, because, you know, bechamel sauce, it's a bit overflowing. When it settles, it becomes thicker. So it's also important to serve this meal when it's hot. So I'm just removing the onions that fell apart, and the bay leaf. One more there. Okay. Yeah, so you'd like to serve this when it's still hot, because, you know, once it settles, it's going to be really thick. Okay, so that's about it. And what I did was I just added a little bit of milk in my pan. Now you see how my pan is? There's nothing is stuck at the bottom, and that's how you know that your bechamel is really, really well done. Okay, so just want to remove this residue and add them to my pasta. And that's about it. It's very simple and it's very filling. And I just added more cheese. Then I put it in the oven on 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes. You can see now my dinner is ready. So beautiful. It really, really looks beautiful. And it does taste good too. Okay, so as you can see, my pasta is a little bit, it looks runny, like I said, but I like it this way because once it settles, it becomes really thick. So thank you so much. For more recipes, please visit me at Aroma of Zanzibar and you'll find all the ingredients and the measurements in the description box below.